So this is my new makeshift studio, the room I'm staying in, and I'm standing up and my phone is mounted on the windowsill. My computer's on the windowsill also. I don't know if I will stay like this. Hopefully I can do some videos outside. But for now, I'm gonna keep talking. And 2 days ago, it was actually 8 weeks off all of the psych meds, and I forgot to mention it, even though I had it marked in my calendar. I think I was a little bit too troubled by all that stuff I was reading on Kelly Brogan's website, and I didn't even finish reading that. But I will celebrate the 8 weeks off meds, and tomorrow is actually 2 months off meds, because 8 weeks isn't exactly 2 months. So celebrating 2 months off meds a little bit early, and 8 weeks off meds a little bit late. And another thing I want to do is a little bit of show and tell. I got my Emerging Proud Coming Out of the Spiritual Closet movie launch book, and oh nice, I just noticed it's signed. So this could be a sign. It comes with this: somewhere inside all of us is the power to change the world. And it comes with a little note about setting up screenings of the film for £50. And yeah, I should probably do a screening of the film as part of the Pure Potential Project. And I'm wondering if I'll call it the Pure Potential Project or Project Pure Potential. Exploring the wisdom of falling apart, rethinking madness from stigma to transformation. And then, does that look like me? How about now? Yes, it's me. And then I forgot that I also contributed this photo art that I put together for some kind of diversity art project that was displayed at a public library, and the display went on shortly after I got out of the psych ward in April 2016, and I managed to take my photo art down there, got it printed at Costco, took it all the way down there. I think I was still staying in the temporary step down facility outside the hospital, and I took it down there and they framed it and put it up, but this is it. And I put in the little quote that I made: our brains are resilient, neuroplastic, and quantum, with infinite capacity to learn, unfold, and create. We've seen and touched possibilities yet to be made manifest, so hold these visions in your heart, so that the minds of the many might be touched and see the possible world too. So that's kind of neato. I think anyone can buy that book, or maybe it's a limited edition thing, but anyone can rent the Emerging Proud film on Vimeo. And it was definitely worth the watch, and perhaps I will host a screening of some kind. So I've been waking up feeling a little bit bleh. I think I just feel disoriented, like not organized, not knowing what I'm doing, though it's all in my computer, so I am very organized. And just seeing that little pamphlet just now that I didn't notice before when I opened the book reminded me that I do want to host a screening of Emerging Proud and Healing Voices, and perhaps even the other one, which is Crazy Wise. And this morning I jumped on my mini trampoline. I had some muesli for breakfast, and I'm going to try and jump on my trampoline each time I remember, just for a couple of minutes, because I remember watching in the video I got with the trampoline that doing that is the best if someone has some kind of chronic ailment. And I am a little bit concerned about my boobs right now. They are in a lot of pain, and I think that pain will go away, but they still feel kind of bumpy. So I'm going to do some jumps for my bumps. And they actually said in the video, or if you look up rebounding, that it's good to do just to keep the circulation going. And rebounding actually activates the immune system, and the immune system is what can get rid of cancer cells if there are cancer cells. So I'm sort of thinking that I might be kind of pre-cancer or pre-cancer, but that's the last thing I want to have to go through right now after this mental illness thing. So I'm going to be doing some jumps for my bumps. I just made that up. My jumps for my lumps and my humps. I don't know. And moving towards a ketogenic diet, but not super quickly, because Hardy Nutritional says don't do anything drastic in terms of diet or anything. Even being out in the heat is a little drastic, but I definitely sit in the sun and get some sun, and I will be. So I'll be continuing to take the vitamin C. So there's just so many intricacies right now, and all of my stuff is in a mess, but I'm not going to focus on my stuff. I'm going to focus on my body, talking to myself, learning about social enterprise, and those are the three main things, and also getting out in nature. So I'm going to create a little sticky note on my Mac. When you swipe all the way to the left, so you swipe right all the way, you can put sticky notes, and I don't know if I'll remember to look at it, but I'm going to put jumps for bumps / humps and ketogenic transition and nature, maybe like rollerblading or something. I need to find somewhere to rollerblade around here. And also self-dialogue and social enterprise. Because I think I'm going to start a peer social enterprise, just starting with myself as the first peer and see what happens. I'm feeling like I have to just do everything myself for now and see if anyone else is interested in participating in some way. The standing thing could be good too, because sitting is not good for the body at all. So standing, moving around. I also just have a sense that maybe I want to get into health more and maybe promote health products or something. There's so many things that I want to do, and I'm not sure why I'm feeling a little bit blue in the morning. My voice feels a little weak right now, and I feel like it's hard to breathe when I'm talking. I think the air here is a lot different. A while ago, I went to the blood lady and had an optimized wellness report done, which was some kind of German technique, and it was pretty cool. So I'm going to go over that and cross-reference it with the ketogenic diet. And I did a course by Hallelujah Acres a couple of years ago to be a health minister, but I think that's kind of expired, or they might be inviting me to get more active with their products again in order to continue to be a health minister. So I might see what they have that I could utilize. I might want to take some turmeric and other things just to support wellness. So I'm going to look into that stuff. And some great news. My car driver's side door now opens. I pulled it apart, kind of. It wouldn't open, so I couldn't pull it all apart. Sprayed WD-40, pried at the button lock thing because it's really old, and then sprayed even in the gap of the door along the side, and then someone else helped me and got it open. And I don't know if it was all the WD-40 that did it, or this person turned the key lock and then pulled the inside handle at the same time, and then it came open, and I'm so happy and grateful because now I can continue to drive my car into the ground. I'm wondering if it'll last until I can get something like an electric car of some kind. That would be cool because I really enjoyed driving the Chevy Bolt down in California. But I would kind of like to get a Tesla. That is my dream. I wonder if I can make my dream come true somehow. I think it'd be really cool because there's so much traffic, and they can be programmed to drive themselves on the highway. So if I'm stuck in highway traffic, I can just be sitting there working and not wasting that time. Though I could just be sitting there singing, which I can do too if the car is driving itself. So I'm wondering about that. That's going to be my dream. Now that I've reached my dream of going to California and I've reached my dream of tapering off the meds, maybe now I can really get more serious about dreams beyond that. And it would be a dream to have a really eco-friendly car and a beautiful car. And I do really like technology, and I like it because I use it a lot to create these videos, and I like cars, so I just kind of want a Tesla. That would be really cool. And I also want to create this social enterprise so that everything I do can be translated into some kind of social value. So even this process of maybe getting a bit healthier and moving towards a ketogenic diet, which is supposed to be really good for people with brain troubles, because sugar is one of the worst things for the brain. And if we don't completely eliminate it, then it can cause troubles. And I don't have it completely eliminated right now, but it probably would be a good thing to do in the long run. And I have done it in the past, and I felt really good, and my body was in really good shape and really slender. So if anything, it might be able to offset the effects of the weight gain. And if one chooses to support themselves by using medication, if one can be on a ketogenic diet, then perhaps there's not really any ill effects in terms of all the body manifestations that can happen as side effects. I really don't know, and I'm not going to do that experiment, so I'm not going to go back on meds to do that. Though I was on meds, and I was on ketogenic for like 8 months, and I was very slim and trim. But I still did end up in the hospital, and that's when that scary hospitalization happened. And now I've tapered off the meds, and I'm not going back there under my own volition, that's for sure. And once I start the social enterprise, I do want to upgrade my phone and my computer, because it's 6 years old. I bought it when I was manic the first time, and I dropped $3,000 at the Mac store in a day. And then it turned out that it was very useful. I use this computer all the time. So that was kind of an intelligent thing to do in retrospect. And that's something I ask myself, what am I trying to create? What am I trying to do? Why did I think I needed all this stuff? Well, the sense I had of how I needed it has come true. I am making these videos. So there was something behind that for sure. And I want to get the Apple Watch, the new one, if it has the heart rate feature, so I can monitor my vitals, especially when I start to reach out more into my surroundings. And then also feel safe. Having that device is like having a zap strap and a link to always being in contact with somebody if I need help. And I like that idea because it might have phoning capabilities even when the phone's not nearby. So I won't even have to worry about my phone being nearby. And also starting to share some of this conversation with myself. I'll probably just put it out there on SoundCloud, which is linked to my iTunes podcasty thing, and also on my blog as unlisted videos, so then people can still listen. And that might be the first step. Blog is unlisted. So people just looking specifically for things related to bipolar or omnipolar or transconscious or map consciousness will find it first, and find some people who relate to the conversation first before putting it out there more. And yeah, doing those movie screenings, there's a lot to do. I have a lot of work to do. Endless work, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, how can I create with this? What can I do? So there's no real time for waking up feeling kind of like ugh in the morning, because there's so much, and I could be feeling a little ugh because I haven't been talking to myself as much. And an extrapolation from the Kelly Brogan blog post I was reading is that supposed mental illness could be a type of metanoia, which is a profound shift of the heart. So when there's a profound shift of the heart, the mind naturally gets disturbed, and it takes a while for those two factors to actually integrate and start communicating with each other properly again, because our overemphasis on the mind and intellect and thoughts has blocked off what the heart is saying. When there's a shift in the heart and we can all of a sudden hear what the heart is saying at the same time, it doesn't feel like our ego voice, it feels like some other voice. And this is possibly a way that other voices, seemingly other voices, can manifest, is that we've been identified with our ego voice, which isn't even really our real voice. We haven't been listening to all the sources of information from all around us that get translated into a sound impression in our mind in order to speak or in order to understand something. And I talked about with myself a long time ago how it's a heart dis-ease. The heart is in dis-ease, and then there's this profound shift in the heart, this metanoia event. And I think that's important. This transformation is initiated by a metanoia event. So this process, this map consciousness and trans consciousness and omnipolar consciousness, is initiated by a metanoic event. But when we don't understand this, when we don't move towards understanding this moment to moment, and the understanding never ends, it will never end for me. But then when we're not moving in understanding, when we're just moving in fearing this, it turns into paranoia. So paranoia is the mind not understanding and fearing and pushing this metanoic event away, or this metanoic process. And I still want to finish reading Kelly Brogan's blog post. And I didn't do that in order because I'm not about doing anything in order on these videos. It's just talking to myself in order to talk to myself. And that's kind of it. And it seems like just talking to myself in this way has something, I don't even want to say an effect. It's part of the whole process. It's part of learning. It's hyper learning. It's a lot of those things that I've talked about along the way, but I don't really remember because they are less something that arises as a concept for me to talk about and more just embodied as part of my life, as part of my own understanding. So I will finish reading that in my next video.